All right, guys, so the answers to the Coyote problems here. All right, on number 1, so assuming a car gets 25 miles per gallon of gas, how many gallons of gas are required for the car to go 155 miles? So for 1 gallon of gas, we get 25 miles. So we need to know how many gallons for 155 miles. So you're going to take your total number of miles, 155, and you're going to divide that by how many miles you can get with 1 tank of gas. So 155 divided by 25 gives you 6.2. So you're going to need 6.2 gallons of gas. So the correct answer is A. Number 2, a married couple and their 4 children buy tickets to a ball game. The tickets cost $25 a piece, but each of the children get 20% discount. How much in dollars must the family pay for tickets? All right, so we have a total of 4 children, right? Times the $25. I'm sorry, not $25. So it's not $25 because they get a 20% discount. So $25 times the discount gives you, sorry, times 0.2 gives you 5. So that means they get $5 off for every kid's ticket. So now instead of being $25 a piece, it's only $20 times the 4 kids. So that gives you 80. But we also have the married couple, so the parents, the mom and the dad. So they're 25 and 25 because they don't get the discount. So then if we just take 80 plus the 50, gives us $130. So the correct answer is C. For number 3, simplify. So go ahead and subtract what's in the parentheses. So 3 minus 5 is negative 2. So negative 2 means squared means negative 2 times negative 2, which is a positive 4. So the correct answer is A. Be really careful on that. So if I was putting that on my calculator, so if I did 3 minus 5 squared, never mind, it gives you the right answer. Be careful when you put a negative squared on your calculator, it gives you a negative answer. You always have to put negative numbers in parentheses when you're squaring them. Okay, so be really careful on that. Number 4, which of the following sets is the solution set of the inequality 18x plus 7 is greater than 3x minus 3? Okay, anytime you have an inequality, you treat it just like you would an equal sign. So you can imagine that as being an equal sign. So all we are doing is we've got to get all x's on one side of the equation, the numbers on the other side of the equation, and then solve. So I'm going to go ahead and subtract 3x from both sides. So those cancel. So then I have 15x plus 7 is greater than negative 3. I'm going to subtract 7 from both sides. So 15x is greater than negative 10, and then divide by 15. So x is greater than. Now, if you don't remember how to simplify fractions, you can use your calculator. So I can type in negative 10 divided by 15, hit enter, gives me big long decimal, but you can hit math, enter, enter, and it reduces or simplifies the fraction for you. So it's negative 2/3. So what we're saying is all of the x values, all of the solutions to this equation are greater than or equal to negative 2/3. So it's every single number you can think of bigger than 2/3. So we say that's positive infinity. So when you look at your answer choices, you always want to go from least to greatest, okay? So my smallest number here, we said, is negative 2/3, and then it's going to positive infinity because it goes on forever and ever and ever. So your correct answer is B. All right, number 5, simplify. So we're just going to do distributive property. So 5 times 1 gives me 5. 5 times negative 2x is minus 10x. Then this, you got to make sure you take the whole negative 4. So negative 4 times 4 is negative 16. And negative 4 times a negative x becomes plus 4x. Again, you have to take all of this together. This is a negative 4 distributed to a negative x becomes plus 4x. So then we're going to combine like terms. So negative 10 plus 4 gives me negative 6x. And then 5 minus 16 is minus 11. So if I need to rearrange this, notice I can put this negative 11 in front, and then minus 6x. So your correct answer is C. Number 6, one solution of x squared minus 15x plus 54 equals 0 is. So you're given an equation, right? And we have to find x, and they give you a value for x. So what we can do is we can substitute in these numbers for x and see which one gives us 0, right? So when I substitute negative 9 in, so negative 9 squared minus 15 times negative 9 plus 54, that gives me 270. So obviously that doesn't equal 0, so that one doesn't work. Okay, so I'm going to try negative 6. So negative 6 squared minus 15 times negative 6 plus 54. Okay, so negative 6 squared minus 15 times negative 6 plus 54 gives me 180. All right, so again, that doesn't work. So now I'm going to try negative 15. But here's what I'm looking at. When I use negative 9, I got a really big number. When I use negative 6, I got a little bit smaller number. I'm trying to get to 0. So negative 15 doesn't really make sense to be the answer because it's probably going to be higher than 270. So I'm going to skip over that and I'm going to try 6. So I have 6 squared minus 15 times 6 plus 54. So when I do that, 6 squared minus 15 times 6 plus 54. And that gives me 0. So the correct answer is D. Okay, again, I skipped over this negative 15. I just thought of this logically. When I plugged in negative 9, I got a really high number. When I plugged in negative 6, I got a little bit smaller number. So obviously negative 15 is probably going to be higher than 270. So that's kind of how that pattern's working. All right, flip it over on the back. Number 7. The graphs of the lines y equal 4 and 9x minus 2y equals 55 intersect in a point. What is the x coordinate of that point? So if I were to graph both of these, so there's y equals 4, and then the other point, it would they would intersect at a certain point, and we want to know what is the x coordinate of that point. So all I'm going to do is, it tells me that y equals 4, so I'm just going to plug 4 into this y right there. So I have 9x minus, 2 times 4 equals 55. So I have 9x minus 8 equals 55. I'm going to add 8 to both sides. So 9x equals, so 55 plus 8 gives me 63. Divide by 9, and I get x equals 7. So the correct answer is B, x equals 7. Okay, again, I noticed that this equation right here was just y equals 4. It tells me what y equals, so I just substituted that into the second equation. Number 8, a rectangular field is enclosed by 600 feet of fencing. So if it's enclosed by 600 feet of fencing, that means the perimeter is 600 feet. What is the length in feet of the field if its length is 10 feet more than its width? So here's width, and its length is 10 more. Okay, so then it tells me that the perimeter is 600 feet. So to find the perimeter of a rectangle, I'm just going to add all 4 sides. Okay, so when I add all 4 sides, so let's think of it like this. So here's my W. I'm just using colors so I can kind of show this to you. All right, so what I'm going to do is I have, instead of P for perimeter, I'm going to write down the 4 sides, right? So I have 600 equals, I have W plus W, those are the 2 widths, plus W plus 10, that's 1 length, plus W plus 10, that's the other length. Okay, so I'm just adding up the 4 sides together. So when I look at this, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 W's, and then I have 10, 20, so plus 20 equals 600. So I'm just going to solve for W, right? So I'm going to subtract 20 from both sides. So I get 580 equals 4W. Divide each side by 4. Okay, so 580 divided by 4 gives me 145. Now, it's really tempting to be like, there's 145, there's my answer, but that's not the answer. That's my width. It even says W. Notice the question is asking for what is the length. So if my width is 145, my W is 145, so 145 plus 10 gives me 155. So your answer is B. So be careful on that one. All right, on number 9. So whenever you're dividing, there's only one thing on the bottom, but there's two things on top. You can split this up. So this is 6x to the 8th divided by 2x squared minus, and then it's 2x squared divided by 2x squared. So this bottom 2x squared actually goes with both of these on top. Okay, so I split it up. So if I look at the first one, I'm going to divide my numbers. So 6 divided by 2 gives me 3. And then when you're dividing your variables, and it's the same variable and they have exponents, you just subtract those exponents. So 8 minus 2 gives me 6. So this is 3x to the 6. And then here, I have 2x squared over 2x squared. So think about it. If I have the same number on top as I do on the bottom, we always say that equals 1. So that's not any different if it's variables. So here, 2x squared over 2x squared, that's just 1. So I have 3x to the 6 minus 1. So your answer is A. Number 10, what is the area of a square in square feet whose perimeter is 40? If it's a square, all four sides are the same. Perimeter means we added it all up. So if we have our side plus our side plus our side plus our side, we have 4s equals 40, right? So s plus s plus s plus s plus s. So divide each side by 4, so we get one side is 10. So if this side is 10, this side is 10, to find the area, we just take side times side. So 10 times 10 gives you 100. For number 11, you can put this on your calculator. So I have 6 divided by, now when I put it in my calculator, I go ahead and do this simple math here. 7 minus 3 is 4. So I'm doing 6 over 4, all of that squared. So 6 over 4 squared gives me 2.25, but these are all fractions. So I'm going to hit math, enter, enter, and it gives me 9/4. So 9 over 4 is C. All right, and the last one's kind of like a plug and chug. So we're just going to plug in the values for x. So I have -6 minus -3 all over -6. -6 minus -3 becomes -6 plus 3, right? Again, you could just go straight to your calculator if you want. I always put the top in parentheses just so that the calculator knows that that's all that goes on top. So minus -3, and then divide by -6. -1.5, so I'm going to hit math, enter, enter, and that gives me -3 over 2. And that's not right. Let's try that again. Oh, look what I did on my calculator. I forgot the negative on my 6. -6 minus -3. And all of that divided by -6. There it is. So math, enter, enter, that is 1/2. So I forgot that sign on my calculator, and that's what screwed it up. So my correct answer is 1/2. Okay? All right, guys, that is all. If you have any questions, let me know.